हेलो एवरीबॉडी, वेलकम टू माय चैनल शेबी 101। तो जैसा कि आप सब जानते हैं, हम खेल रहे थे सेनुआ सागा हेल ब्लेड 2 और हमारा गेम प्ले है पार्ट 7। तो लेट्स कंटिन्यू करते हैं हमारे गेम प्ले को, 7वें पार्ट को। और इसमें हम जो है वो तीसरे जाइंट को मारने के बहुत ही करीब है। देखते हैं इसमें अंत हो पाता है कि नहीं इसका। लेट्स रिज्यूम एंड स्टोरी को हम लोग सुनते हैं। कहीं वो उसका बाप ही है, वो जो जाइंट को बनाया है, मतलब तीसरे वाले को, या वो खुद है, या वो जानता है वो जायंट कौन है। क्योंकि वो फियर पे मतलब अपना को बलवान समझ रहा था लोगों को, शायद से मुझे वही लग रहा है।
And he knew he held the key. Make them fear, and you can make them do anything. Make them hate. Make them punish the weak. Make them turn against one another, each on each.
I have your tribute. My boy,
कौन है लेकिन
why
ये
did you
जायंट?
have to turn your back on me?
ये शिट, अपने बेटे को ही मार दिया उसने। कैसा बाप है रे तू, अपने स्वार्थ के लिए अपने बेटे को भी मार दिया। एज लाइक थैनोस। थैनोस ने भी अपना मकसद पूरा होने के लिए, अपना स्वार्थ पूरा होने के लिए ब्लैक, अपना क्या बोलते, गमूरा को मार दिया था। ब्लैक विडो बोलने जा रहा था, गमूरा को भी तो
Hold
सेक्रीफाइस
him,
किया था।
Senua. He chose you, Senua. Hold him. So brave.
I am going to kill him.
We will kill him.
There is always someone ready to take his place. You told me that yourself. Might have been me if I had never met you.
सही बात है, अगर सेनुआ से नहीं मिला तो
Have
वो
to
जगह
show
लेता
them a
अपने बाप
different
की।
way. You have to redeem them.
How? How do I stop this?
You came to stop the sacrifices. Kill the giant.
Father. The tyrant.
My father's name
One name.
is only fear.
You will end this. End this, Senua.
तो जायंट को नहीं मारेंगे भाई, इसका बाप से लड़ाई करना
I kept him safe until you came here. Why did you come here?
Set them free!
They don't need freedom. They have safety. Are you starting to see my power people doing my will? You're nothing. They won't hear you. They are right to fear a world such as this. I keep them safe from it. I am the only one who can control the giants. You can see the truth. Focus.
Focus.
I'm starting to see my power now. All my people doing my will.
मुझे लगा था स्टार्टिंग में मरेगा तो
So many dead Senua. And for what? Just for you to die too? So many dead Senua. And for what? Just for you to die too? You see the giants? You fear them.
I see through you.
Look at her, brother. The lion tries to bring us down. Focus.
तो कुछ करने का तलवार जब वो बढ़ा के रखेगा।
You can't defeat me. I have the strength of scars. You can see through him.
इतना वार करने पे भी मर नहीं रहा वो।
You can see the truth.
I will shine a light on your lies, and they will see the truth. There are no giants, it's just you. Something is changing.
It's changing. Can you feel it?
All he has created, all the things alive, all the
Darkness.
And to have you here.
breaking into pieces. You can see it, hear it.
Safe in my
His people are turning against him.
They are all turning against him now.
Confused,
Lost.
scared. They look to you.
Look at you.
You can show them the truth.
Senua, show them what he really is. the world that he created.
The world you destroyed. Show them his lies. He is just like your father. Terrible. Just like your father. You want him. Do it!
Damn it, please! No!
Now!
Do you really want the truth? Each person who follows you, you bear their weight on your back. Soon you will do anything to protect them, no matter what pain you inflict on others. And then you will find their belief makes you strong. And you will want to hold on to that strength no matter what. You will become me. You are your father's daughter.
He brought your people here to murder you.
Do you see how they cling to you? Pleading. Do you see how their hands drag you down? You are everything. What would you do to keep them from harm? What would you do for the truth?
She has to say what she has to say.
I choose how to end this.
She chose a different path.
She's not like him. We are not amongst us. You chose a different path.
All the questions answered. Truth, burning bright to scour away the darkness. Shadows of horror and hate writ large on the sky. Phantoms made from fear. Darkness outside makes darkness inside. She sees it. But the darkness is inside her too. Because she loves, even after everything. She loves. And if she loves, what will she do to save that love, to keep that promise? All the lost ones, when they find her, what will she do to protect them? All those names, all those lives. What will she do to hold them? Wisdom has a price. She is her mother's child. But she is also her father's.
मतलब कि राजा बन के उन लोगों को लीड करेगी, संभालेगी, या फिर वो तो मर गया.
I see it now. The darkness is inside me. But not the way I thought.
Yes, feel it.
Yes, you can see it, can't you?
It is his darkness. Not hers.
Your darkness.
माँ की नहीं, बाप की डाकनेस उसके अंदर बोल रही है.
And it carves a path for me.
In your blood, in your bones.
But I can't see where it leads.
Haunting you forever.
Part of me wants to let go of the fear. Let go of my shadows. And be free. No more pain. No more doubt.
आ गया ना ट्रेलर वाला.
Honored. Loved. Feared. always true, always right, because they tell me so. Keeping them safe, keeping their belief alive, no matter the cost. Is this my fate?
Senua,
Can I choose my way?
what will we become?
We are not our fathers. There is always a choice. You taught me that.
We will choose.
Together.
You decide.
All her life she has been alone. She chose it. A shield to keep her heart from harm. A hymn to still the other voices, the ones outside. Not anymore. The ones she saved, the names she found, they lift her up.
अच्छा,
Their
इसीलिए
hands reach out to
पोस्टर में
hers.
सेनुआ को हाथ ऐसे पकड़े
And
रहते
now she reaches back to them.
क्योंकि अब उसके पीछे लोग हैं बहुत सारे
Her story is
जो
not
उसके ऊपर
written.
डिपेंडेंट.
There is always a choice.
चलो भैया, तो फाइनली जो है खत्म हो गया है. टाइटल को स्किप करके सीधा मेन्यू में जाएंगे हम लोग. टाइटल देखने में कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. न्यू फीचर अनलॉक, डार्क रॉट मोड. ये क्या है भाई? सेनुआ कैन ओनली डाई अ लिमिटेड नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स बिफोर द डार्क रॉट claims her soul and the story is over. अब समझ में आ, वरना हम लोग खत्म नहीं हो पा रहे थे. डेवलपर कमेंट्री. The maker of Senua's Saga Hellblade II provide insight into the game's development. अच्छा, new narrators. New narrators Senua companion are available as narrates. भाई नरेट करेगा, हमको क्या करने का. एक्स्ट्रा में देखते ये आया हुआ है और ये है द स्टोरी. ये क्या है? दिस वीडियो इंक्लूडिंग स्टोरी स्पॉइलर फॉर हेलब्लेड सेनुआ's sacrifice. अच्छा, पहले पार्ट का
Senua
है.
finds a unique courage to
ये
keep pushing
हमारी मेन
forwards on her quest, no matter
सेनुआ.
what. She sees the world differently to
सेनुआ की
those
मॉडल
around
और
her and
फेस
faces challenges others
मोटी हो
will
गई थोड़ी
avoid.
सी.
When driven so strongly by one powerful purpose, she will do anything to rid the world of the darkness. This is her life's mission, and she will not stop until she fulfills her quest.
My name is Eddie, and I have lived with psychosis for most of my life. To me, psychosis means living in a different reality. Reality that isn't shared with other people. Often living with psychosis is dark and miserable. While experiencing psychosis, I've got to hear the voice of God, the opposite, seen and spoken with angels.
तो दोस्तों मैं बताना चाहूँगा, ये वो पेशेंट है, साइकोटिक पेशेंट या कह सकते हैं पागल पेशेंट, जिसको आवाज़ें सुनाई देती है, अच्छी भी बुरी भी. मतलब जैसे हमारे दिमाग में थॉट्स चलते हैं ना, कि हम सोचते हैं ये करें हम क्या नहीं करें, लेकिन वो हमारे थॉट्स रहते हैं, हमारे अंदर फुसफुसाहट की आवाज़ नहीं आती. इसको ऐसा लगता है कि कोई अच्छी बातें बोल रहा है कि भाई आगे बढ़. कोई बोल रहा है नहीं नहीं आगे मत बढ़. कोई अलग ही ज्ञान दे रहा है, कह रहे नहीं भाई आगे बढ़ जाएगा. तो ऐसे इसको आवाज़ें सुनाई देती है, और इसको अलग रियलिटी में भी देखते हैं. सेनुआ अलग रियलिटी में चली जाती है, अंधेरे में, फॉगी में, या जो भी है. तो ये वही बताने की कोशिश कर रहा है कि इसके साथ होता है. और ये गेम जो है वो साइकोटिक लोगों को मेंटली हालत बताते हैं कि उन लोग आखिर कैसा मतलब फील करते हैं, कैसा मतलब लोग को रहते हैं, जो भी आप लोग समझो. चलो.
And been to hell itself. Recovery college and peer support really did turn my life around. I thought I would never get better, and yet here I am.
उस समय ठीक नहीं हो पाऊंगा, लेकिन मैं ठीक हुआ, मतलब बेटर हो गया. पहले के मुकाबले।
The things that Senua experiences in Hellblade are very similar to some of our own experiences. She lives in a reality that other people might find hard to understand. She sees significance in symbols, in meeting people, in all sorts of things that are going on around her. Senua is experiencing an altered state of reality which would be very hard to understand without having experienced it yourself or playing Hellblade.
Lost soul who fought through hell to find us.
You were lost. Not anymore.
Are you ready for what you will find here?
It's difficult saying that it's an illness, that it's not real. Of course, to me, it is. And of course, to Senua, it is. And that's what's driving her to do these amazing feats of courage, to overcome pain and exhaustion, to do what she knows she must.
All the fear.
Everything I've seen, everything I've done, has led me to this place.
We've come so far, not far enough. Say it. You are ready. Tell them.
In Senua Saga Hellblade II, we tell the second part of the story of Senua, a Celtic warrior who, like Eddie, has experiences of psychosis, seeing the world in a unique way and existing in a reality unshared by others. At a surface level, this manifests for Senua in seeing things that others don't, hearing things that others don't, and having unique beliefs about the world.
My name's Paul Fletcher. I'm a psychiatrist and a professor of neuroscience at the University of Cambridge, and I've been working with the Ninja Theory team on Hellblade and other projects for several years now. I am a clinical doctor, but have also added research and teaching to my role. And in all three areas, I'm especially interested in the human brain and how it strives to make sense of the world, which is complex and changing all the time.
The lake.
Like a mirror.
You can see the
Senua, like many people, experiences psychosis. Now, psychosis is not a diagnosis, although it is associated with a number of medical and psychiatric conditions. But ultimately, it's a loose description of a shift in one's experience of reality.
What are you doing?
Screams of the dead.
There's something here.
They are not.
I need to find out what it is.
They are.
A person with psychosis might experience changes in their perceptions and their beliefs. For example, they might see or hear things that other people can't. And they might come to believe things that are quite uncharacteristic for them. For example, they might feel that somebody, perhaps somebody even very close to them, is intent on trying to harm them. Now, it's very important to remember that this is not just a vague feeling or an imagination. To the person, it feels like their reality, just as everything around me feels like my reality to me. I, like many people, feel that in order to even begin to understand psychosis, we have to start with thinking about how the brain works in general, how it makes sense of the world around it. And when we do that, we're repeatedly confronted with evidence that actually it doesn't just rely on the evidence of our senses, but it actually relies on what it already knows, on its predictions, its anticipations, and its expectations.
Your voices.
Now that might seem like a defect. After all, why would we want to rely on what we already know rather than what the world is telling us? But if we did act simply as passive receivers, we would be completely swamped. We'd be like a newborn infant trying to make sense of the colours and shapes without any way of having a framework to try and understand those colours and shapes. Our senses are bombarded with information from the world that's rapid, it's intensive, it is noisy, ambiguous, unreliable. And if we were to try and make sense of that without imposing patterns and expectations, then it would be like trying to assemble a multi-dimensional jigsaw without knowing what the picture was on the box. Many of us think that the brain ultimately is an organ that makes predictions. It craves patterns and associations in order to make sense of the world. And without that, we are confronted with a feeling of uncertainty, of anxiety, of distress, even of fear.
They're calling. Something is drawing.
Where do these predictions come from? Many of them are actually embedded in the structure of our brain, probably wired there by evolution. Many of them come from our earliest experiences as babies, trying to make sense of this new world that we're born into. Many come from our early childhood experiences, from what we learn from others and how we interact with others, from our parents, our teachers, our friends. We all have a feeling that we're directly in contact with an objective reality, but it's probably the case that what we experience as our constructed model of the world is a blend of the evidence of our senses, but also what we are predicting or expecting from the world. So this blend exists in a very fine and delicate balance, and the weighting of that balance probably varies a great deal across different individuals. But crucially, this balance is what determines how we experience and interpret and act upon the world. And some of them are embedded in shared experiences with others, our society, our culture, our arts, even our religions and our mythologies. So for the most part, this works very well for us and enables us to make sense of the world, but it's also, being a delicate balance, it can be shifted, and it's very easy, even under the most normal day-to-day circumstances, to deviate from objective reality. A good example of this is the hollow mask illusion. All of us are familiar with a mask. We know that it depicts a face and that the inside is hollow. But when we see the mask rotating round and we see the hollow side, there is a deeper prediction, probably embedded in our brain, that facial features tend not to be hollow, that they stick out. And this deeper prediction can override our knowledge that the mask is hollow and make us actually perceive the face as sticking out at us. Despite what we know, the deeper predictions will override this. So for me and many in my field, perceptual illusions like this, which are very common, are really interesting because they tell us something fundamentally about how the brain is making sense of reality using its predictions. But more than that, for me, it's very interesting because it begins to give us a sense of how psychosis might begin to emerge. Psychosis is this experience of an altered internal construction of one's reality. And it seems feasible that this is dependent upon this balance I've talked about between predictions and evidence. And it is probably the case that some people tend to weight their predictions more heavily. This, in many circumstances, is advantageous because it means that they can discern patterns and associations that perhaps other people can't. But if that balance was shifted further by different circumstances, then it may well be that they begin to construct a reality that doesn't accord with the world around them. What might cause that shift? Well, a number of things. It could be caused by stress, sleep deprivation. It could be caused by illness, neurochemical disturbances. It's also the case that our experience will change how we predict things. So a very profound experience, for example, of trauma, could powerfully change the way in which we make predictions about the world and shift us from this delicate balance into a state of psychosis. In the case of Senua, we know that from an early age she was able to discern patterns and associations that perhaps other people couldn't. And on top of that, her childhood and adolescence had a number of traumas in it. Her father was abusive and he accused her of being the cause of evil and darkness. Her mother, who had the same capabilities as she did, was actually sacrificed for the same reason. And in addition, her village was attacked by Vikings and her lover was brutally killed. And it's possible that all of these traumas would act on her natural tendencies to topple her into this psychotic experience that is depicted in Hellblade.
With every defeat, the dark rot will grow and soon it will take her soul.
In Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, we find Senua discovering and understanding her experiences. They're relatively new to her, and the pain and torment feels at its most acute. Having travelled to a new place, with a mind full of her trauma and truth stories of the Vikings, she embarks on a journey of coming to terms with what has happened in her life. Ultimately, rather than finding the unachievable certainty of rescuing Dillion, she achieves certainty in the realization that Dillion is gone forever. She learns to accept his death, and in turn, her experiences of psychosis.
Even in darkness, the wonder and the beauty of this world never leaves us. It is always there, waiting.
In Senua's Saga, we find Senua at a different place on her physical and mental journey. Empowered with the sense that she has overcome her own darkness, she's now compelled to follow a new quest, to save her people from that same darkness.
You smell their fear.
He's here. Death is coming.
Look at the bones.
Death is coming.
Look at the bones. That's going to be you. That's going to be everyone.
In Sacrifice, Senua's psychosis is acute and all-consuming. She is preoccupied and absorbed by her experiences. To some extent, she is enveloped and enslaved by the darkness. She cannot ignore her voices and visions. She's totally committed to the quest within her altered reality. In Saga, there has been some resolution to this. There's no miracle recovery. She still experiences the voices and visions. She still has a changed reality. But the balance of power has shifted. She is the one who is able to be in control. She's able to resist and challenge the voices. She's able to make decisions that much more clearly reflect her own goals.
I see through your lies, and I will show them how to see as I do. I will not appease your gods. I will destroy them.
And in addition, in Saga, she is able to encompass the reality of others. She sees them for the constructions that they are, and she is able to interact with them. And I think that's a very powerful change and a very important area to explore.
They have lost everything.
In Saga, we've had the opportunity to explore the next phase of Senua's mental health journey. One where she's come to a place of understanding, but where she and us as creators have new challenges to overcome. Where Senua's belief system will clash with that of others. Her experiences will play out in the presence of people who don't share her perspective. And where she feels a new sense of power in being chosen for the quest, but also a new weakness, bowing underneath the weight of responsibility that sits on her shoulders.
In Saga, we have once again utilized binaural audio to bring Senua's voices to life. Her furies still travel with her, but their tone has changed this time. She continues to be haunted by her father, and she starts to feel the audio presence of Icelandic myth infecting her mind.
That scream, that voice. Something dark, Senua.
You need to go up there.
Don't let them see you coming.
You need to find out.
Don't let the monsters find you.
You can do this, Senua.
To hear the world as Senua does, we spend time with people with lived experiences of psychosis and also with Paul Fletcher. This made a strong basis of what it is to hear voices, what they say, how they sound, how they change or react to external stimulus. And this paired with all we learned from the first game, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, led us to create Senua's own sonic version of reality. To me, it's a privilege to sit in a room to play our game, and as we progress, hear their comments, thoughts and suggestions. Each one provides a different perspective, and I find especially inspiring and humbling to hear from Eddie his own experiences. Especially, I find he has a way of putting very complex emotions, situations, in a very simple yet poetic way.
We have lent into things like repeating fractal geometry shapes, cymatic patterns, with lighting, then a case of when in order to.
I hope those walls that keep us distant and lonely.
My brothers used to come here to practice fighting. Sneak out. Follow them.
For Saga, in order to bring Senua's experiences of hallucinations to life, it was very important for us to listen to people's real lived experiences. It was then a case of thinking about how Senua's world and reality might look when faced with these types of examples. This would have been impossible without Paul Fletcher and amazing people like Eddie and Kathy, who've been so open and honest about what they have been and do go through on a day-to-day basis. I think it takes real strength to be able to talk about such personal things to a new group of people. On the visual side, we have lent into things like repeating fractal geometry shapes, cymatic patterns, with lighting and post-processing changes to all help reflect the current feelings of Senua. And hopefully, when combined with the audio and gameplay, the player will get a sense of what we are aiming to achieve.
Dying right before your eyes, just like before.
No, this cannot happen again.
You couldn't do anything.
We have to stop it happening. Face it.
You need to face it.
Focus.
You need to look at it.
In Sacrifice, we saw a story of Senua's suffering at the hands of her experiences. In Saga, we're telling a more nuanced story of the next step on her journey. One where she has found a greater balance, but where her experiences are just as strong. Where rather than being a victim to her experiences of psychosis, she is driven by them on a path that only she sees.
Bringing sin with you. The gods cannot be killed.
One thing that I find very exciting in Saga is that there's an attempt to explore something that is really neglected in my field, which is the experience of a dual reality that some people have. People who have had Senua's types of experience have spoken to me about this, feeling that they have their own reality, but they also recognize the reality that others experience, and it can be very confusing, it can be disorientating. And it's exciting to me that the game contains an explicit attempt to portray this experience of dual realities, and I think it'll be very interesting to see how people respond to that.
It's amazing what has been done and what's been portrayed. I think it's really difficult to turn words into what other people might be seeing, but I think I'm always blown away by what Ninja Theory come up with for their games, and I'm really stunned at the quality of, you know, the things that she sees and the sounds of the voices that she has. I think they're pretty realistic.
She's getting closer.
Yes, she can feel it.
I hope that the game will help people who maybe don't understand psychosis or don't know very much about it to start with. I think by experiencing some of what they will do in the game, I think it brings to life a little bit of what it's like to have psychosis, and I think hopefully people will learn from it.
Now I'm working as a peer support worker, and what that means is that in my case, in the job that I have in my role, it means that I go to see my people, to see my peers. We talk about how things have been. The way that Hellblade has captured the experience of psychosis is nothing like I've ever seen before in terms of its realism, in terms of its fairness to people like me.
वेल लोग की लाइफ में तो फैंटेसी वर्ल्ड ही चलते रहती है, मतलब साइकोसिस. To find out more, visit help.info. अगर आप लोग को साइकोसिस के बारे में और जानकारी पाना है तो ये वेबसाइट पे जाके आप लोग देख सकते हैं, help.info. और मैं बता दूँ, ये आप लोग को कैसी इंफॉर्मेशन वाली वीडियो लगी आप लोग मुझे बताना. और आप लोग को खैर पता चल ही गया होगा कि गेम जो है हेलब्लेड सेनुआ सैक्रिफाइस और सेनुआ सागा, ये दोनों पार्ट जो है वो साइकोसिस को दर्शाते हैं और बताते हैं कि सेनुआ जो है वो जूझ रही थी सेकंड पार्ट में भी वैसे ही, और फ्यूरीज की आवाज़ उसको सुनाई दे रही थी. और ये वही कहानी है, प्रीक्वल है. प्रीक्वल तो हमने देख चुके तो बार बार देखेंगे नहीं, प्ले में जाके देखते हैं. और ऑप्शन खुला, अच्छा डेव कमेंट्री है और डार्क है. ये ओरिजिनल स्टोरी है. Embark on a new saga. Discover more about the creation process behind Saga, Senua Saga, Hellblade. Dave डॉक्यूमेंट्री तो शायद हमने देख चुके हैं ना. होल्ड ऑन, अच्छे फीचर्स था तो ये क्या हमको गेम प्ले करना पड़ेगा कि देख लेते हैं हम. चैप्टर न्यू स्टोरी. ओरिजिनल स्टोरी में भी चैप्टर है वही सेम, 5-6 चैप्टर है. अगली बार खेलूंगा तो डार्क रॉड में खेलूंगा, सीधा न्यू स्टोरी बता रहा है. चलिए ये डॉक्यूमेंट्री जो एक बार ट्राई करता हूँ, मैं देखना चाहता हूँ डेव डॉक्यूमेंट्री. अगर अच्छी लगेगी तो आगे पार्ट बनाऊंगा, नहीं तो कोई बात नहीं.
For me, recording Saga was a completely different experience to Hellblade 1 because Hellblade 1 was a very intimate experience. I was the only character in the game, like the only character that was actually like motion captured. So yeah, being on a massive stage compared to the first one with a big team and other actors was like,
वो सब तो
yeah, it
ठीक है,
was very,
लेकिन ये
very
गेम
different,
इतना
but I
छोटा
really
क्यों है?
enjoyed
थोड़ा
it.
बड़ा होना चाहिए था ना, या तो एक ही पार्ट में
I
बना
think I
लेते.
had to overcome my performance anxiety quite a lot because yeah, like in the first game I was able to hide a little bit more, like there was not many people watching me when I was performing, whereas being on a stage with a whole cast, it's a bit more vulnerable. But because we got on so well, it was very easy in the end.
This actually was really cool for me because we didn't see this part of it, the actual like fully rendered storm and everything, for a long time down on the stage. But something that we were really proud of is that boat rig that we built matched up so well with where you actually ended up on the boat, Chris, right?
Yeah, yeah. It was insanely fun. We had a huge rig that was kind of like operated by ropes, so everyone who was on the rig would all be moving with the same kind of momentum of the sea.
It was really cool though, being like tied up on an actual boat rather than just pretending to be on a boat. So it felt very realistic.
I think there were a couple of times, before we had decided on what the build was going to be, where I'd come down to the stage and kind of see you being scooted around on a chair. I was like, this is what we're gonna do, but it's gonna be much more than that. Like, it was one of the first things that we shot, and I hadn't started too much longer before then. I think I'd only been here for about 6 months. And that kind
तो ये
of
गेम
build
हम
is
खेल रहे
not
शायद लोग
something
कमेंट्री के साथ, मेरे
I
ख्याल
would have
से
ever
वापस से
imagined
चालू हो
seeing
गया,
on a
पता नहीं.
mocap set,
लेकिन
just
मैं
because
तो
of
अभी
how sensitive
कंटिन्यू
the
नहीं
cameras
करूंगा अगले
are,
पार्ट
and
में, खाली देख रहा हूँ
being able to carry that
कि
kind
गेम
of
प्ले
weight and
कंटिन्यू
still get
रहता
the
है क्या
data you
नहीं, कि
need
हमको ये
is
लोग कमेंट्री
difficult.
सुना रहे बस खाली.
So to see it all kind of come together and not cause us really any technical issues was really cool. I felt
Yeah, that swimming scene was, I think, one of my favorite things to shoot because it was the first time that I got to use like a harness, or do you call it gyroscope, Chris?
The colloquial term for it is tuning fork, I
Oh
think.
dear. I'll never remember that. But yeah, I remember you were all in with Lucky 13 and riggers and yeah, just strapping me into that harness, and I underestimated how much hard work it is to be in that harness and to pretend to swim. I kind of imagined it being really easy, but you actually have to tense like all the muscles in your body, and it's quite hard work.
This one was another one that was kind of tricky because we didn't know the exact layout of the beach as you were washing up on it. So I think that's a nice little bit where kind of what you shoot informs what you get at the end of it, because it all had to be built with what we were able to do in mind. Looks brutal.
That was quite fun because I had to like pretend to be like washed up, so I was like pretending there would be waves and like rolling from left to right. And then it kind of cuts into one of our stunt doubles, I think Lisa. She was in the harness as well, and then she did the actual washing up scene.
ये स्टोरी ड्रिवन गेम तो बहुत ही छोटा निकला भाई.
Don't look anymore.
Chapter 1 is a place called Reykjanesta on the Reykjanes Peninsula, which is the same peninsula that Reykjavik is in. And this was actually the first, was it the first location we went to?
Yeah, pretty much the first location, I think.
Yeah.
It was one of the earliest locations we started building as well.
Yeah, so it was literally our first experience of Iceland, was coming out of
तो हम लोग खेल सकते हो कमेंट्री के साथ. मतलब मेरी कमेंट्री अच्छी नहीं है क्या?
driving straight
ये
out
लोग
here, and it was
कमेंट्री
really, it was quite intense, I think.
ये लोग
wasn't it?
ने
It was
क्या
a very-
क्या मेहनत
like, the
करे,
weather
क्यों
was
करे?
pretty full on.
Yeah, it was a kind of a very, not quite as stormy as it is in the game, but we definitely had.
तो दोस्तों इतना समझ में आ गया है कि भाई ये जो गेम है कमेंट्री के साथ रहेगा. पूरे गेम में कमेंट्री लोग करते रहेंगे कि हमने ऐसा क्यों किए, हमने क्या किए, फलाना किए, ढमाका किए, हमने ये कैसे किए, वो कैसे किए. तो कमेंट्री सुनना नहीं था, वीडियो में बता सकते थे, लेकिन उन लोग ने साइकियाट्रिस्ट वाला बताया, तो मैं गेम को यहीं पे एंड करूंगा फिलहाल के लिए, और मिलूंगा अगले पार्ट में आप लोगों को. टिल देन टाटा बाय बाय. ये जो हमारी ओरिजिनल स्टोरी है, अ न्यू सागा चैप्टर न्यू स्टोरी. मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा न्यू स्टोरी से क्या है. बस खाली डायरेक्ट स्टार्ट बिगनिंग हो जाएगा और क्या न्यू स्टोरी. और ये कमेंट्री रहेगी और ये डार्क वही वाला जो इसमें लाइफ कम रहेगी बस. तो मैं यहीं पे पार्ट को एंड करता हूँ, ज़्यादा कुछ है नहीं बताने को इसमें. सो आई होप आप लोग को ये वीडियो अच्छी लगी हो, आप लोग को गेम प्ले अच्छा लगा हो, आप लोग पसंद करे हो. ठीक है, और लाऊंगा मैं और भी सारे गेम है बहुत सारे. ठीक है, टिल देन टाटा बाय बाय.